You know, normally I would come up with some sort of quippy entrance when I'm doing these kind of podcasts. But given the rumors that have been going on about me, oh no, Lucky Chi has fallen off from podcasts. Oh no, no anime stuff. Oh no, manga content. Where'd he go? It's the end of the world. It's the end of the world, guys. No more podcasts. No more podcasts. Or could have been the simple solution of life got in the way and, I couldn't do anything about it. But, yeah, I guess you could say that's my quippy intro right there. Not one of the best. Just saying. But, hey guys, what's up? Lucky Chi 7 is back again. Finally, after, what's it been now? Almost 2 months? Since the last Black Clover podcast? Shit. Way too damn long in my opinion. And the break, to say the very least, was not supposed to go on for as long as it did. At the most, maybe like a couple weeks. Then it stretched out to this, and I'm like, yeah. Knowing that this is a Black Clover podcast, you guys all know the drill. I can't really do these podcasts by myself. Technically, yes, I could. I very well could do that. But what fun would that be? What fun would it be just having me here by myself, like every other YouTuber, talking about a said series, when I could just be doing that with a buddy, with a friend. And once again, I brought with me a special friend and a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
After 10,000 years, we're free. It's time to conquer Earth. Well, not really, but we can't do that. Maybe one day, but just not now. After all, we just got back after 2, 3, 4 months. I don't even know. But it has been a while. And
practically the entire summer.
We could talk about all the chapters we missed, but I think a lot of people already got a great idea on how spectacular it was for the most part. So we could just go through a quick recap and, see what we wanted to cover a little bit here and there. But first, of course, I should introduce myself. I am Sparda3g. I am finally back after so long, and yes, Lucky Chi is not dead. Because a lot of people ask me, "Is Lucky Chi still alive? Has Lucky Chi abandoned us? Where'd he go?" And I have to tell them that relax. He's not gone. He's not disown us. Actually, he doesn't owe us, but still, the point is, he's still around. He just has been quite busy with something very important, which I'm not sure if I should say it. Basically, it's things that Lucky Chi has to say himself. But regardless, the point is that he was working on things, and life gets in the way. Whatever, you wanted to have some fun. But hey, it all comes with a great price when you get everything done in your way, in your own pace. So, yeah, it's fine. And just knowing that we are actually back after so long, it goes to show you that we finally made time, we finally made progress, and now we have our time ourselves to talk about Black Clover, because we have missing a lot of great stuff, but it's better late than never. So I'm actually happy to be here once again as a guest for Lucky Chi's podcast.
Definitely, man. This long absence, you guys have no idea how it's been for me. Just going I can't wait to get back to this, because each week, each chapter comes out, I'm like, man, I want to do this, but stuff has just been getting in the way. And I'm like, all right, look, I got to the point where I was finally able to get done with most things I needed to, and now we're here. Now we're here with the Black Clover podcast, and like Sparta said, there's a lot we gotta cover, and you might be wondering, there's so much. How are you gonna do that? Well, number one, last time we left off, we were in flashback mode, literally in flashback mode with Secret and Lumiere, with Lit becoming the big giant demon that everyone it's pretty much familiar with, given like the very first page of the opening chapter of Black Clover. I will say, now we could break it down, but given how long it's been, we're not going to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is just give our little thoughts on how that chapter volume right now. Sparta, what's your current thoughts on, or not your current thoughts, but like, what's your thoughts overall on like how the flashback turned out, and it kind of leading into this current volume that we're on?
I mean, it's amazing because like we back then, you know, a lot of people keep wondering if this is like the end game of the entire series. Some people would say no, it's not, and some people would be convinced it does feel that way because ever since the beginning, we always seen that prologue. Well, anime wise, at least, the anime with the first Wizard King saved his own kingdom by taking out the great giant demon king or devil king, whatever you want to call it. Now we see the truth from the recent, well, not recent anymore, but we saw it from that flashback, and it was really good. It was really done well. It does serve a point. It also served a little bit more point to Sacred, which we actually get to that when we get to the talk about the recent chapters. But yeah, like it does give you a clarification on how it all happened to the first Wizard King, Lumiere, Lich, how everything goes break down. Um, you know, it was really nicely done. I like how they changed the story from like you know, what could have been like just like, oh, the Lich went evil because his loved one died, everyone died in front of him, ruha. But instead it's like it's more like, again, it's more like Lich is just have no choice but to become a summon a demon king in order to prevent the worst outcome, which is having the devil completely control him. If that would have been the case, then the series would have been a huge different storyline,
It
or
was
probably we wouldn't even have. How Sacred just coincidentally landed where Asta has the five leaf clover, and we don't even know the origin story of Asta. Even to now, we still don't know, which already gives you the huge idea that yeah, this story is not ending yet, or this series is not ending yet. I mean, I know I could have done like how Bleach did it with the whole hey, everything feels like it's all ending, and then Aizen has to be like, no, I do not want to do it. I don't want to serve him. When he just used the utter him, you get the idea. Oh, that means we got more story apparently. Never mind. I thought I was gonna end the series here. Kind of like that. It didn't need to do that, but yeah, like Black Clover from prior to the final battle of the arc, there were a lot of things that just have a lot potentials, a lot of expectation, a lot of anticipation to explore the lore. So it's already given. It's given that the series is not going to end there. It's going to have a lot more explore. So long it can keep up the momentum with its quality, which so far it has a lot of promises. So I don't think we're gonna have to worry about much on the quality in the meantime. Especially after the last battle, how it was all handled. It was yeah. I don't think there's anything to worry about for the time being. Yeah, like I said, the flashback did serve a point. It served a little bit more, but we get to that when we get to it. You said that was the last chap. That you said those two chapters were the last chapters for the volume.
for volume, yeah, for this current volume that's out right now, volume 21.
That's actually a good placement.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
204
good
and
placement
205.
because
Yeah.
if I remember right, I think the last part of the chapter, Lumiere and Secre meets up with Asta and everybody else.
Yeah, like they
right?
like just get there at the very end of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just remember I asked a funny reaction. He's pretty much reacted what we all react. How he goes. He's like, man, what the hell is going on? It's like, yeah, you don't say. What the hell is going on? So, but yeah, that was a great way. Yeah, that is a great way to end the volume. That would for those who be like, for those who only read volumes, there are people that like that. There are for those who read a volume by volume, is like, oh, okay, that was a great way. Now I can't wait for the next volume. So that's a great way to get them hype, even if they have to wait another 3, 4 months. I think I'm not sure.
If we're playing by that, then I'm gonna assume 22 doesn't come out until I want to say October. That's my guess anyway.
I remember somebody listed the volumes of when they're coming out, but I don't remember Black Clover. I want to say October too, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, this is what I'm estimating. I could be totally wrong about that.
Yeah.
Then it turns out we were kind of wrong about the cover because I assumed, okay, maybe we're gonna get Charmy and like her big reveal design, but nope, we didn't get that. But
We got too much hopeful.
we did. It was like, oh
Well, the
wow,
volume, but the recent volume is good though. It's definitely good.
it is pretty good actually. And like if you really look at it in retrospect, it kind of does make sense that that's the volume cover, given with
Right.
what we tackle. But no, overall, like if I look at volume 21, I think overall it was a pretty damn good volume in and of itself, which kind of leads into this, the final battle itself, because that's essentially what this volume is right now. Or not is, it's practically finished. But yeah, the final battle, the final stand, the last stand for all you X-Men fans out there.
Well,
Yeah.
I think they wanted to forget about that though. They want to forget about that as much as they want to forget about Dark Phoenix. So
Oh wow.
let's
Well,
like, hey, I did want to see the world burn by saying, hey, look, they announced a new next Spider-Man. One more day. Woo! But unfortunately, that's not happening.
I got a title for the third Spider-Man movie. You ready for this?
Go.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man Home No More.
Oh God. Is it? I hear Home Sweet Home. I think I'm being lied about that just to get to avoid the topic of like, oh man.
I feel like
And plus
I
it's
don't know. They haven't announced the title for
yeah.
the yet.
Because I know home is like a trend name, so I think that a lot of people just joke around probably unless they did confirm Home Sweet Home is the next title. I don't know. I haven't heard anything from it,
Sweet Home.
but who knows? Home Sweet Home. It's like you're telling me that he's gonna be. Well, I didn't see the movie, so I can't even say anything. Never mind. Moving forward.
Moving forward. Oh, did you have anything you were gonna say?
No. I was just saying moving forward by going to the Black Clover topics because we were going to Spider-Man or out of nowhere. So what I meant is going back to the topic.
Yeah, going back to the topic. With this final battle, it turns out we were both kind of wrong because I assumed we were gonna get some endgame type of shit with Noel, with Mimosa, with Merliana, with Fuegolion. And we don't get that. Am I a little disappointed by that? And no, because that was me setting myself up. And I'll admit, I'm wrong when I'm wrong. I guess you can say the endgame hype kind of fueled it. So, I'm not disappointed. Just me kind of going like, okay, maybe my expectations were a bit too high. But overall, the people that we had for the final fight of this particular arc.
Final arc already.
Final fight, I should say, with Lumire, with Sekre, Asta, Yuno, Yami, Lid, Patri. I know there's someone else I'm missing. I'm missing somebody else.
Well, Asta, you know?
I think I got them covered. Is that it?
I think it's 5 people. Yami was like an ambush, but we get to it later.
Yeah, Yami was the ambush. So yeah, it's pretty much them versus the devil. Now, we're not gonna break down like the fight overall, like in detail, chapter by chapter, but we can go over pretty much like how the final fight turned out. And Sparta, I'd like you to start it off. So overall, like from the point where Secret and Lumire joined the fight, how do you feel that did you feel like this final fight of the arc lived up to what it was building up to with their struggle against the devil?
Yes, I do believe that. I thought like there's the old saying goes, the end justify the mean. Well, they definitely did the work because like at least because okay, the devil was already a troublesome foe. He was
Yeah.
already like dominating the field. He was already like he was dominating Yami, Charles. He was like unstoppable, and then it makes it worse when you use the Grimoire. It's like, damn, how powerful is he? Even like Potoli with his
With
own
all the
five.
despair. Yeah.
Yeah, even then he's still not enough. Then you got Asta and Yuno at their like, I wouldn't say prime, but basically like at their best stage, and they still can't beat him.
Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah,
he
of
was
course.
still like even then he was like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna work on me.
Also, like even Asta, who was like the only answer to defeat the devil, it still had a hard time. It's not like, well, this is gonna be super easy. All you had to do is have Asta get close to him, stab him. What y'all? The game over. But it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Like there's a lot of crazy amount of teamwork that comes from Yuno, Asta, and then other places. Like you even have Lumiere Lynch, which was pretty damn awesome when I think it happened like in chapter 206, pretty much right after Lumiere arrived and unseal Lich, so that way they could go as full strength. We got a lot of new stuff that happened during the battle, teamwork and like other ability, especially like the ultimate magic, which sounds like a new concept now that we could have ultimate magic. Lich is the first one to do it. It was like devastating as hell. It was like a holy sword. It's basically like the spirit bomb, but the spirit sword in that sense. Didn't kill the devil, which is like holy crap. But was also great is that Asta also finally learns a spell for his sword. Like he may have the sword, but the only thing is he never really casts a spell or casts something that comes from the grimoire about a sword. It can't just be like, hey, look, I got a sword and that's it. It's like there got to be more to it, especially when Lich used the sword and use it like it has so much ability within one. Like if he could do it, why not Asta? It was that moment that he finally got the inspiration. But you know what? It's got to be a way for me to actually get a first casting spell for my sword. Because I'm seeing the guy who said that this grimoire belongs to his. To him, he pulled out a sword. He did a move. He did an ultimate magic out of it. So can I do something like that? And that's like finally we got to see Asta learning ability within the sword. It's like I don't know, playing blindly is blind. It's like playing it's like playing blindly in an RPG game where you have a sword that you don't even know has a special technique. Or you only assume that hey, it does slashes, real hard slash. That's really good. It's like, well, here's the thing. That's a special ability. This one has like army slash. I know I'm copying the name from Final Fantasy, but the point is, it has abilities within the weapon, and if it does, why not use them? Asta has not used them at all, but we know it has the possibility because Lich did it. So it makes perfect sense for Asta to, one day able to use it, and he finally did it. It was awesome. It was like it felt very rewarding when he did it. It was like, oh my god, he finally did a spell, his first ever spell. It's like it's not magic, but the idea is that he's finally using an ability that was equipped inside that sword. So it's like the first starting grounds. Like this battle doesn't only have to be like the idea of like I'm gonna one up him. He's gonna one up me, and then I'm gonna one up it again, and that's it. What it could do is like you could have a very tough boss battle, which is the devil himself, and then yeah, just teamwork, and then you've had to find a way to just beat the obstacles or beat him. That's what it comes down to. It never comes down to like, damn, Aztec got super powerful. He could one on one him all of a sudden. We don't need us. We don't need to boost him. We don't need to do anything anymore. He could just do it by himself. He could nuke the entire plaza, the shadow realm, whatever you want to call it. He could just nuke it because he could just do it out of no. He could just do it now. The other dimension. He could destroy the other dimension with his sword alone. That's never the case. The only case is that he was able to do a cast, and that's it.
Yeah, that was all.
But it does, yeah. And there's also the limitation, especially like, okay, he could only use the demon inside for a short while, so it's not like he could do it forever. He could last it forever, because that's never the case yet. You know what I mean? Would it happen in the future? Who knows? What we know is what he has now is like has a limitation. So it's not like the series is trying to go a little bit bonkers and it's just like, oh, I'm breaking all the rules now. So who knows that will happen in the future? But at the time being, or what just happened recently, that didn't happen. So every battle, throughout the battle, you get a lot of new interesting lore update or interesting concept within those abilities they have already. And it's such a great artworks that happens in many chapters, including the one where bring out his sword and Asta bring out his sword. That double page spread, it was awesome. It's a lot to admire. But what seals the deal was the final chapter of the battle, because that was like I know I read other series that brings a satisfying conclusion, but when it comes to like series that's like crazy fast-paced action like Black Clover or other series that you can name in the Weekly Shonen Jump today in terms of fast-paced action and a little over the top or over the top completely, this one really does this justice, because like
it really does.
Not only you got a great teamwork, but you got a great teamwork. Not only it played it fair and it made sense, but it just felt really rewarding with his visual, with his tension, with his suspense, and all the build up that leads to this moment. Like the last chapter was great because you're just seeing the last stand, I guess you could call it that. You see the last moment. You see the body limitation, and then you see the moment where actually I'm trying to get to that page right now. Give me a second. And also it makes it also I like how the devil was like losing his mind, so his dialogue bots become crazy.
Yeah, I was noticing that with the devil where he was like, because you noticed in the beginning, like he had like a calm, cool posure to him, like as he was taking them on. But as it kept going, and I was looking back on it too, like he was slowly but surely losing his edge to the point with where he ultimately ended up, which I was like, wow, that's something.
Yeah. So yeah, again, the last chapter, I think it was 211. I think it was called like the final blow, the finishing blow, something like that. All I remember is that it was like the chapter that was like, yep,
that was 211.
This yeah, okay, great. So that chapter is help out the battle itself, because again, it's the case of the end justify the mean, and it definitely does, because if it were to end like anticlimactic, like okay, I don't know, the devil just killed himself because reasons, no real context other than just wanted to do it because he got fed up. I don't know, something like some stupid Garlic Jr. moment. I'm gonna use the dead zone while I'm immortal. I'm immortal and I'm gonna do the dead zone. Right. But anyway, so nothing like that. If anything, it's just like only like I don't know how the anime since anime has been putting more care to a highlighted moment, which is good. Since they have been doing that for a while, I still gonna hope, but I do kind of trust them, I guess, that they will actually do a justice for this final battle in the arc. Like it's just a lot of things going on, and yeah, you could add your own style, but one way or another, it's gonna be great in manga and anime wise. But again, it depends on the anime, which I do think they're gonna serve it well. I mean, they did a great with Julius versus Patuli or Lich at the time. They did a great justice there in terms of animation and
there.
So yeah, I'm hoping they know their priority because they definitely put in more work into the anime more recently than before. More recent than before because like I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know the reason, but maybe because they got short of anime, or maybe it's like what? Let's actually care about Black Clover. Let's actually give more production, more time.
I think it's because they know that like this is like the big arc that people have been talking about. So they're like, yeah, we can't afford to mess this up. That's the impression I'm getting anyway. If we're talking about,
I mean, it's either convenient timing or it's possible that they actually see it like, this is a very important arc. We should really put effort to this one. I don't know. It could be one way or another, but because the important thing is that we are getting the real deal in terms of animation quality and all that stuff. So it's benefiting for everybody, manga fans, newcomers, anime only fans, whatever. So, but that's good. But like I said, I while I do think they will do a justice for this battle, I'm still gonna hope for it because you never know. Like Pain versus Naruto, the only good time it happened was last episode of it, because I mean it had a potential when Naruto went QB mode. And then it went Looney Tune episode that was,
I was about to say
lost.
That. Like, as soon as the next episode hit, I was like, "What just happened?"
Oh my god, I have zero idea what just happened there. Like, let's just hope it does not.
Hype killer.
Let's just hope that doesn't happen for this arc, for that battle. If it happens, well,
knock on wood.
Yeah, maybe. There you go. Okay. So, aside from speculation, this last chapter was the best part because not only you got like great artworks, not only you got a population, not only you got popularity poll, not only you got popularity poll with great results, probably the best result I've ever seen in a popularity poll in a long time. Well, I'm not sure you want to talk about that one day.
Actually, we can briefly talk about the popularity poll real quick. Asta's number 1. Noel's ahead of That says something. That's saying something right now.
It says something that she's number 3, and she beat yeah, but she's number 3. She's like, I think for a lot of people, what says a lot of the most is that it's evenly split in terms of gender. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much to me, but I think in some way it kind of does matter. But not like, oh man, we got to have an equality. But it's more like the writing of these characters. Because a lot of people likes to brag about like, this is shonen, so women are just treated as fan service. It's like, I think people could just treat anybody as a character, period. Like it could be a man, it could be a woman, it could be an alien, it could be a beast, whatever. It could still be, it still count as a character.
Oh yeah.
But like if you could see 5 men, 5 women, there's no real reason to try to say like, oh, you see, shonen only fans over the other guys and the girls. Like I can understand sports series, but then again, sports series is full of guys, or depending on the sports, really. Like hockey, like of course, because like it's full of guys. Like going in, you already know what to expect. I mean, you could have some girl, you could have the manager being number 7 or whatever, but the point is like, you're not gonna ask for like a lot of women because their focus is like either be a cheerleader, a manager, assistant manager, whatever, because that's the role, that's the limitation of the role, which is fine. Now you in this battle manga, I mean, it depends how many characters you write, depending how many characters you create. Try and make the best out of them. Don't be like, all right, I'm going to make her. For what? Oh, it's just be a love interest for that guy. All right. What about that girl? Same thing, love interest for the other guy. Anything more? Nah. It's like, You're just doing that just out of that reason. It's kind of cheap and kind of unnecessary. Like, do a little bit more than that. It could be reversed too. It could be like, hey, we got a lot of female, but the guys, they're just kind of perverts, or they are perverts, 100%. It could be anything. It's not even about like, oh, how dare you treat women like that. My point is that Tabata could write characters. He could write characters that could really Yeah, he could write character that appeals to a lot of people. And just seeing like a good a good split of the different gender, just does like a lot of people will say it's great. It's great to see more women, but to me, I see like it's great to see how much BS of like the idea that women cannot get in there just because it's a shonen. The idea is just write a good character. It could be a man, female, whatever. It doesn't matter. Point is, you could just write a character, and there's no excuse for anything else. Like I know Oda said it himself, but he knows what he's doing. He knows where he's at. He knows what's the target audience, and it still works out well in terms of like, you know, given the approach of these characters, women included. It's like the only thing he did is like make an hourglass for every woman in One Piece. But he knows that. He did that on purpose. That's the idea. So what I'm saying is it's great that we actually have some diversity. And it's like you don't need to base it on gender. You could just base it on character. It's kind of like what George R. Martin said. You don't look at them as gender, you look at them as character. And that's what makes it great, because they dispel that BS comment. Shonen cannot allow have women doing good stuff or doing more stuff than just being fan service. So it's like, get out of that excuse. That excuse is dead. You're only saying that because your personal series is having a hard time to actually write a decent character, like a female character, when in reality it should just be written just as simply as character.
Yeah.
It's the only reason.
That's true.
Yeah. But we can talk about the result later if you want.
I just wanted to point out the Noel thing, because I'm like thinking, when was there ever a point where the main female lead of a shonen has like consistently remained third place? That's just because I've noticed that for a while. Like she's like whatever poll it's on, like she's always kind of been like on the third spot.
Right. Well, because Yami is just too awesome. It's kind of hard to beat Yami.
No. I wasn't, but like like just in general, like just being in like the top 5. Yeah.
Well, if I remember right, I think the second poll she was out of top 5, but she was still in the top 10. And I think because this is the anime's fault, because I know for Vogolian, he was there, and I know that's because, right. And I know that's it. I know a lot of people question like how he's in the poll, and my only guess is the anime, because around that time the anime was airing. It was around that arc where he was awesome, and then he got his arm cut off and he was knocked out all the way to this arc. So yeah, that's true. That has to be the explanation. And Miriona, she showed up. She was awesome. I think she was number 5 in last poll. I don't remember. And she's still in this poll because she's and she's still in this poll because she's legitimately awesome. Who can fight that? So I was like, oh shoot, she's still there. Personally, I think it's more impressive when you see the heroine be in the top 3 after like 3 popularity poll in terms of result, because when you start at the beginning, it's a beginning. Like, okay, you see the beginning, everybody's still fresh, everybody's fresh out of the oven. The series is still fresh. The fans are still new to it, and they don't know much of a character. Because it's kind of like, Naruto is a funny case, because it's like you keep shifting back and forth, but eventually Sakura just keep on leaving top 10, which is sad. But we all know why. We all know why. But anyway, so with Noelle, like the fact that she was managed to be in top 3, like I like, not only it disapproved the point of like, okay, she got lucky the last time because it was still fresh. Second poll, either like second poll, she was like, I think she was 8 or 9. I don't remember exactly. She was around there, but that's only because the anime fans came in. Now everybody, I got used to the series. So when you got the third popularity poll, if she was out of top 10 or she was still in eighth place, well, I wouldn't say a problem, but that just says like, damn, I was hoping the excuse of second poll was because of the TV, but now it seems like, yeah, maybe the people don't like Noel as much as I was hoping for. Shame, but what can I do? Then the third poll came out, and now you disapprove the people who would probably say nobody likes Noel. That's why she's number 8 now, and she's gonna leave the top 10. That's disapproved because you got the third poll. The third poll, which is like now you got veterans. Now you got people that's used to the series. That people that are not. Well, I mean, you can still have new people to the series, but but largely it's going to be a lot of people that's just based on like, you know, veterans, regulars, fans, already fans since day one, day two, year two, whatever. To me, that's more impressive because it goes to show you there's a rebound with like series like Naruto. Sakura, she was, I don't remember what was her first place. I'm gonna check on right now. Like all I know is that when Sakura left top 10, she struggled to try to get back in top 10. There was no such thing as like, okay, Sakura lost top, was in sixth place in first poll. Then she was 9. Then she was 12. Then she was back to 7 somehow. There was never that moment. It's like once she got out of top 10, it's always a struggle to barely get back in top 10. It was never like, oh man, she made an amazing comeback. She's the top 3 or top 5. It's more impressive because again, it's like
It's just very
this is
rare
where
for like a shonen heroine to like consistently remain like in the top 3 of like a
yes,
popularity poll.
and yes, and no harem series don't count.
Nope, I was about to
I
say like nope.
mean, they don't count. Though it is still important for the protagonist to be the number one and be like, oh, all right, you're a show name, you're the title, this is harem, and yet you're still losing. What? Okay, here we go. Sakura was number 5 in first poll. And number 2, she's 14. All right then.
Drop off.
All right, so if we give her a chance, maybe she'll come back. So I'm looking at okay, number 3. Oh, it's not been verified, maybe inaccurate. All right, maybe we should go 4. Number 4, number 10. See, she struggled. She's not like it's not like you're gonna see her going back to number 5 or 6 anymore. You know what I mean?
It kind of fluctuates.
Like yeah, like those days are over. Like she got lucky for popularity poll 5 by being number 8. The only problem is there's another hero named Hinata, and she has been outclassing her up to the point that it becomes my kind of meme that if you're first place in the poll in terms of heroine, you win the guy. It's just mine. I don't think that's true. Maybe. I don't know. I'm looking at that one series and I'm just gonna see how it ends. And then if it doesn't, I want to say Nisekoi, but unfortunately she got number 1 in the final minute and then she won the pairing war. So I can't really say that yet. But there's another series I'm eyeing on that I gotta focus. If that guy end up giving that girl the win because of the popularity poll, well, I think my meme is not dead. But we'll see. Anyway, got a little off topic. Yeah. So I don't know. Bottom line is it's very impressive to see. It's not just impressive to see main heroines to be in the top 3, but just seeing like those 5 heroines in the top 10. And now of course a lot of people will be trying to make an excuse for their other series I won't name, but you should know. Actually, Naruto is one of the name one. that their hero is not doing so well. Why? Because they bull crap and then move on.
Honestly.
But yeah, we got off topic in a way. So last chapter of the battle was awesome because it just felt very tense. It was like exhilarating. It was just like it was like a hell of a rush. I think the best part to me was when Yami took that swing, and and once he did that swing, it's like you get that sense of like this swing has to connect. If it doesn't connect, we're screwed. And once it connect, it was like felt like you kind of just wanted to yell out, yeah, just
that's perfectly. That's what happened.
Huh? I was like, wait.
No, I was gonna say it kind of reminded me of what Kenpachi did in the Fullbring arc against that one dude. I forget his name, the butler guy.
Oh yeah, you're right. I remember. I forgot his name too, but I remember that scene now. Shoot. But yeah, it's like that feeling, like holy crap, he did it. You got like so amped up because you finally seeing the devil just got his due, and then everybody was like, holy crap, what just happened? And then Asta realized that was Captain Yami did it, and then he started spitting up, I don't know, blood, saliva, or something, whatever the devil was spilling out.
A combination of both.
Yeah. And then Sakura keep being the MVP, which, by the way, she has been the MVP throughout the entire battle, whether it's the assist or actually doing work. She was doing a lot of hell of assistment. So is that a word? She just did a lot of assists. And yeah, I credit her for being like, damn, she practically got the MVP. So
and this is her like just getting her human form back. Like it hasn't even been that long technically. And she put in a lot of work. Like a lot.
Yeah. She just came in just recently and she was in 16th place, which is not bad. Though it is funny. If she would have been her original form, the bird, so to say, maybe she would have been higher. Because she was, I think Nero was actually in the top 10, the first poll. If I remember right. Yeah. But like I said, it was fresh. But let me see. I'm going to check right now.
That troll face.
Yeah. Nero, let me see. Yep. The first poll, she was number 5.
Man, all those Nero
number 5.
Like, who is the bird? I'm like, where's Wizard King? Nope.
I guess she got to upgrade. And then the second poll, she was 19. But now if she become human, 16. Yeah, it's an upgrade.
They were like, oh, she got so pretty. We gotta.
And she's still, she's still new. That's the best part. So, and knowing what happened in the recent chapter, there's a lot of great potentials waiting for us. So we'll see. And I think that's the great thing. Like all these new characters they make, they always have a good shot to make a good impression. I mean, Sakura just got in and boom, she's like right close. I wonder when's the next poll? Probably like another 50 chapters, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
So probably around like 2020. That's my guess.
Yeah, unless they're getting desperate, because the other series is pretty desperate to try to get that protagonist number 1. At least the way I see it. I was like, man, already a popular poll, 5th one. I'm like, Black Clover just got their 3rd one. Why are you going 5th already? Whatever. Anyway. So, final chapter, like I said.
I am from Japan. Unless you want to go that route. Oh, God.
I'm from Japan. Oh, boy. I blame that series for canceling out David Kun. Yeah, I even though that's not true, I still blame it. Anyway. All right, but seriously though, yeah, the last chapter of the battle was just epic as hell. It just felt like a great finale, and then just having Asta recover his sword and just take that badass swing and boom. It's like I'm really hoping the anime do it just
in that final panel too. Like I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, and even the aftermath was damn good, especially when the other devil shows up. The devil from Asta.
Yeah,
he shows up.
He had only shown up like once, right? Like right when like in the Witch's Forest arc, I think. That's the only time he showed up.
Yeah. And he showed up again, and he was interacting with the devil that was about to die, which that devil didn't know exactly what is Asta's devil. Like he doesn't know anything about her. So we thought he probably do know, but we didn't. So he didn't know anything. So I was like, oh, huh. Or the
Yeah.
more mystery to it unreal. It's
Could
like
Asta's
it's
demon
amazing because
secretly be the final boss?
who knows? See, it's amazing because like a lot of you get a lot of answers, but then you get a lot more questions from this battle or from this arc even.
Yeah, because
Like you
you
would,
have because you've got Asta's demon like referring to him as the senior. So just based on that, you can kind of tell that okay, so Asta's demon hasn't been around as long as the devil has. Just based on that.
yeah. So we know this demon from Asta is, I guess, based on what he how he interact is like, I guess it's younger. I mean, it makes the most sense, but still, the idea that there's more demons out there. I mean, for all we know, Asta's demon is not the only one on Earth right now. Maybe there'll be more. Maybe we're gonna see more in the upcoming future. Maybe from the other kingdoms, or maybe the demon, like more demons, just come from the other dimension eventually one day. I don't know. It's just a lot of possibility because it's how much lore details came from this arc alone, which is great because we didn't have to rely on like again, like how Bleach did it before. You have everything felt conclusive, and then Aizen has to say, "I don't want to serve him," or "I don't want to go back in jail, or not until I destroy him." Like sounds like some pop-up girl villain, but yeah, it was like him. It's like him. It's like that alone
Who's the
tells you the
senior
series is not
before him?
over. Like that alone tells you the series is not over. It's like okay, we got a lot of redo to do though,
Yeah,
because
no, like
you
if
know,
Aizen kept his mouth shut, like Bleach could have just ended at a Ronker's Manga. I would have been like, eh, a good ending. Fine.
yeah, a good ending. I mean, it was a good ending. That's the sad part. It was a really good ending. It's sad because you know, we Ichigo, you cannot see your friends anymore from Soul Society. You know, that would have been a sad but nice ending, bittersweet, but would have been nice. But then they continue on, and oops.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, again, he shouldn't have say, "Yeah, I don't want to serve him or kill him." I forgot what he said, but all I know he said him or it. You don't want it to.
Too many
Bottom
times.
line is,
Say it
yeah.
too often.
Bottom line is, once he say that, it was pretty much saying like the story will continue. With Black Clover, what's interesting is that it's a lot of new information that already tells you that the story will go on or the world is not over yet. From Charmy, from the devil, and then you got other possibility about the race, the different race, the different exploration expectations, I guess. Especially we got more kingdoms to explore. We haven't even seen any of them. I mean, sure, you could just ignore them and just end the series there, but what fun would be that without exploring other places?
No, especially like when you teased the dwarves from like the Diamond Kingdom.
And
That's
then
already
they
set
introduce,
something there.
yeah. I mean, I know it does feel conclusive because a lot of characters are getting a hell of a development, but the fact it's not concluding goes to show you that it's actually pretty amazing that we get a lot of character development that feel finalized, but yet we're gonna go further. I mean, we'll see how Noelle will be treated, but obviously there'll be more to come for her. Asta, of course, she's the protagonist. I still think the Yuna one is interesting because it erased the idea about being related to Elf, I guess, because like the son
Yeah,
of Lich
it did.
disappear. Yeah, so in a sense, Yuna was pretty broken, but now he's back to pretty strong, but not as broken. You know what I mean? He's no longer too broken, not too powerful, but he's still powerful without the elf. But he's not as powerful as we saw here because he lost it now, which is a cool, funny way to nerf him, I guess, or downgrade him. Asta is still getting stronger, but we don't even know if he could beat Yuno because that's the idea. We got to keep it separated as much as possible, which I'm fine with that. But yeah, there's like a lot of interesting details that we haven't yet to explore because, well, it's just not the time yet. we're gonna find I don't know how they're gonna to unveil what Asta's origins from, whatever. Yuna is the same thing. What more can we do with these characters? There's a lot of possibilities. And I think for this arc for that. Not a lot of arc do that. That gives you like, man, there's so many anticipation. I want to know more. I want to know more about these magic. I want to know about more race of theirs. You usually just follow the arc and just like, oh, it's gonna conclude everything, and then maybe one or two drop hints of like the story will continue, and that's it. But with Black Clover, it actually gives you a lot more before concluding this arc, and at the same time, leave you anticipated for a lot of new details, rather than like scratching your head and like, okay, so they got it done. Now what? You don't. I mean, you can still say now what now, but it's more like now what? Are we gonna have the kingdoms destroying, invading? Are we gonna have them going different kingdoms for something? What we're gonna have? What we're gonna do next? There's so much. There's so much to learn. But like other series, you'd be like, I really don't know what to do next, or what were they gonna do next? Maybe it should have ended there, instead of like that thinking. So yeah, the final battle was really damn great. It was well executed. I love the teamwork. I love the paneling. I love the action scenes. I like how I just like that moment where Yami got that swing and connected it. And when they connected, it was just epic. It was like, felt like
It really was.
a huge, like, it felt like a ball, it felt like a baseball game in the anime where we got the final strike out and then you just roar like, yeah, like it felt that way. It felt great. What's your take on the whole thing since like went on for a while?
For the final battle, I mean, I gotta echo was a lot of what you had to say, because there was just a lot that I wasn't expecting, and I think that's like kind of like the biggest benefit I can give. And I think more than anything, and this is kind of something I've picked up with Black Clover, is that like every time you get to like the end of an arc, it's always different. It's never like the same approach with the same tactics. Like if you look back at like say the Water Temple arc and you look at how
Mm-hmm.
Vettel was taken out, or like the Witch's Forest arc was taken out, like Vanessa's mom, or what's another one? Or like in the dungeon arc when they were fighting off against Mars, like each particular final fight, like there's always a level of strategy involved, but it's never like a repeat of the same strategy. It's always different. And I think that's what really makes it really unique about the fight, is just that it's not repeating anything from before. It's taking like what the abilities that these characters have, and it's trying, and Tabata, like he always does it in like a very unique way, and in a very like a very visualized, a very memorable experience, and especially like when you were dealing with the likes of the devil and the way how they take him out. I just think it was done perfectly, but that's just how I feel. Actually, which is something I want to ask you. Like, how do you feel about like the way? Like, do you feel like the final fight overall like feels very different compared to like how like the other arcs have been in terms of how they've handled their
Yes.
conclusions with fights?
Yeah, because this one has stakes. This one felt like it was really challenging. I'm not saying the other one weren't challenging, but they were like playing on hard difficulty. Like, okay, that was tough, but we did it. Whew. And you get another boss. Like, oh damn it, another boss. Because that was the style before. Well, probably kind of is, but it's not as bad. Like I remember earlier Black Clover, they was stacking up bosses on top of bosses with another boss
It
on
were,
the
yeah, I
top.
remember that.
I was like, all right, we're going boss to the boss to the boss to another boss with a top of boss and an extra boss. I was like, what's going on? I remember I wouldn't say complain, but it was funny how that happened. Like, oh, we're finding Sally. Oh, we're finding Lich. Oh, we're finding this. Oh, we're finding him. What's going on? It's like how many stack of battles are we having?
That's what
Like,
I was saying too.
can we take a break? Just one break is like, oh, we fight from here, we fight her, then we fight Lich, and then we fight his minions. What? So yeah, that was like that. In this case, this one was like playing expert. Like, my God, it's so damn hard. Why did I pick this level? Damn it. Maybe I should call friends. Oh shit. Good thing that my friends are online. And good thing they are the same level as me. They just have to play their role and we could win this. And I did. You do. You end up winning. So that's the feeling I have. It definitely feels different, not just from the teamwork perspective, but also like the difficulties perspective. Like this is like really challenging to them. This was really hard. This was like it has. It's like it's not like Asta has to rely on Nakama punch, as somebody would like to say.
Nakama punch.
Yeah, because which is funny because that particular concept is going to happen in the next two episodes in that particular series. That's going to be fun for
You're
everybody.
Right. You're right.
God. Which is funny because that's one of the major bosses, and he freaking did the exact same concept. Anyway, Black Clover doesn't do that. The only thing they do is just have a different teamwork and try to find a way to get to that victory. So yeah, definitely. I definitely see a different.
That's the other thing I've noticed. Like it's never with the same group of characters.
Right. And it doesn't be like, oh, okay, Asta's here. Let's all take a backseat and just have our cheerleading moment. Go, Asta, go. There's none like that. Or the usual, I wouldn't say BS. I mean, it makes sense, but it's always annoying when you do that. All right, he's here, the strongest guy ever. We should help him. No, you only get in his way. Let's be cheerleaders. Like, fine. Can we just like maybe we could just be like Yami, do a sneak attack and actually help? Nah, he's too strong. Leave him alone. Mano y mano. I'm serious. I could snipe him. We could get a headshot. He could be paralyzed. We could defeat him. No. Don't interfere this one-on-one epicness. But the worst is on the balance. We know. But the fight needs to be balanced with one-on-one. So no interference. Fine. That's the idea. That's what every show did.
There was one series that did that. I'm not gonna name it. I think you know which one I'm talking about. I'm almost like, ugh, great. Why?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have one-on-one. It's always good to change it up, but you gotta have a good excuse. You know, I'm tired. It is kind of stupid to be like, no, he's so strong. We'll be nuisance. And when you say that, you're just burying yourself. Like, come on, don't say it that way. You're pretty much saying like, oh, he's just too powerful. We're just jobbers. Good, thank you. We're a bunch of Chad, and I don't mean Chad in a good way. I mean Chad as Bleach, the character.
I was like, what's it like? Yeah, Chad.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I mean, I know the series is early, and maybe I will bite my ass when it does happen to Black Clover, but it doesn't seem that way, at least for the time being. Plus, I like the fact that everybody's is in the same wavelength, which is one of the biggest strengths of the series. Like everybody's is important in one way or another. Like Asta definitely has an anti-magic, which is definitely a very, very useful tool against people full of magic. But he's still going to need help because it's not like his sword. I mean, yeah, he's learning some other sword technique, but you know, it's not gonna be like, I have the healing power now.
Someone with this, or in this case, he can't one slash someone like instantly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, here you are. Here I am. There.
Yeah, it's not like in Naruto where he basically became Jesus, I guess that's as they call him that. I mean, he was doing everything. He was pretty much says, medics are very useless because I am the medic. So yeah.
As soon as he started doing that, I was like, great.
All right.
You just made one character feel completely out of role now.
Yeah. Not to mention ruin every anticipation, tension. Oh my god, the character is not going to die anymore because he just saved him. Okay, never mind. I was so teared up with that ultimate sacrifice that was 100,000% guaranteed death. Nah, I'm Jesus. Stop that. There you go. If you do another sacrifice move, I will always save you because I'm Jesus. That's what Naruto just did. But yeah, as this it dispels magic, but he's not like he's gonna be like, oh, look at that, I could do water. Hey, Noel, you could do water. Guess what? So can I, and mine is even better. Oh,
Next
don't
thing
do
you
that,
know, he's
please,
gonna have like
Naruto.
5 other abilities, just being like, okay, Earth. I don't even know what the other ones are. Screw it.
Or worst case scenario, you have Noel saying like, I remember saying to myself, I'm loyal. I am royal. Sorry, I'm loyal, and I'm gonna help everybody in my team. But that's not the case anymore. I made a huge mistake. My role was to always rely on Asta for everything,
Oh
because
no.
yeah, because the heroine from Naruto was 100% not character suicide or Minecrafting herself by saying, well, I always said that I was going to help Naruto to save Sasuke. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm just going to rely on both of them to do their shit. Me, I got no role. No role whatsoever.
God.
What a massive. Yeah, I'm not
He
even.
just took away all
It,
everything the first half of part two was building towards and just put it in the gutter. Man.
talk about talk about final nail to the coffin.
Seriously. But I was the one that was like holding up hope. Man.
It's like her role in the war arc was about love. I mean, like if you're in back home, sure, fine. But you're in a damn war. You have never mind. Anyway, nightmares. Going back to Black Clover, which is almost ironic.
Yeah, right.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I think I was answering your question, correct?
Yeah, about the structure of the fights, like the final fights from each of
Yeah,
the arcs.
yeah. Well, yeah. Like I said, it definitely felt different, which is actually which is actually something to compliment for Tabata to always bring something different. Doesn't always rely on the same trick. Just relying on the idea of teamwork always comes great beneficial to the character or to the team itself. Until I started to see a pattern like, well, Asta can beat him, but then he got a new power up and he could beat him solo or something like that. Something like a pattern that you start to see, which is something that Fairytale was unfortunately guilty on. The whole, well, then he's kicking my ass. I just have to think about Nakama. Voila.
I remember that.
Yeah. No, I'm not
It
even
got
gonna
more
try to
obvious
bring
like
up.
once Grand Magic. Well, no, I say Grand Magic games, but then Charters kind of sort of brought it back to form. And then
Hmm.
was it Alvarez? I think is when it got too extreme.
Well, yeah. Well, Alvarez arc, I was gonna give a pass because I felt like, okay, you just got bad. You want to show off your real power. Fine, I'm gonna give you a pass for that. Though that was just weird, but like I said, I'm just gonna give you a pass. Then the so-called, my God, they're so damn strong. Those what's that empire? The Springer 12. My God,
Oh
they're so
yeah,
damn strong.
in 12.
1 bajillion %. I'm certain that these guys are terrifying. You all will die. Well, sure didn't feel that way after fifth battle in. Like they start off okay. Actually, it started off decently. It actually has a logical way to beat them rather than like, oh man, we can't beat them at all.
I
Oh,
think
look at that! I
Universe
got
one
it.
is what really screwed them over. That's what I think happened. Because up until Universe one, I was like, okay, I'm digging where this final arc is going, and then once they cast that, I'm like, huh, okay.
As soon as you have a character to not only destroy a meteorite, not only to destroy a dragon, and not only still continues to show off that you can still fight on, As soon as that happens, it's like, yeah, we're doomed. Oh man, that was terrible. How you broken effing bone?
Only an arm. That's the only thing you had left. Only an arm.
And he still kicked ass. Like it felt like a Mighty Python thing. It was just a flesh wound, and the guy has no arms.
Man, not even Rave Master did that. With its final arc,
Yeah,
like they actually went,
yeah.
which is ironic because I'm like, what happened?
I know we're kind of going off topic here, but I mean, like the bottom line is that we have seen like series that has gone strange down the line. We're only hoping that Black Clover would learn a lesson to not to go down the line. I mean, it hasn't changed its style yet. I mean, there's
No,
250 chapters in and it hasn't changed its style, so that's good
which is
news.
saying a
It's not
lot.
like yeah, because a lot of series you can kind of see the style slowly changing, or the styles has remained the same, just gotten a little more ridiculous than ever. With Black Clover, you always seen the same style as teamwork. So I don't think Tabata is willing to say like, teamwork is no longer good anymore. Let me just go 1-on-1. But how are you gonna balance the power? With BS. We're gonna do convenience power up. We're gonna do Nakama power up if I have to. Like we don't haven't seen that case of scenario. So for the time being, I think the series is safe.
I think so too. But I'm trying to think, like, is there anything else from the final fight that we need to talk about, or is there anything, or should we dive straight into the aftermath?
Yeah, I think that's about it to cover about the final battle. So aftermath it is.
Yep, aftermath it is. Everyone, so they're able to escape the Shadow Realm, as what we've been calling it for a while. Yeah, they're there. Sadly, Charmy's not in her transformation state, which would have been funny if she was, just to get the others' reaction. You get you get everybody else there too. So this is like the point where everybody gets back together. Would it have been cool to seeing Noelle, Mimosa, and all the other characters have their little shine against the devil? Maybe, but I think I don't know. Like I said, I think that was something that again was just mainly building up from us seeing Endgame whenever it came out. Maybe feeling like, yeah, I think if we see this, it'd be cool. It would be, but who knows? Maybe Tabata has that in mind. Maybe. But like, if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna be like, hey, why didn't you do this? But and if you think about it, it kind of makes sense given how there's more to come for the series. But yeah, you got them. Yeah, Noelle and Asta just having their little banter, funny banter. He's like, "Oh hey, um, yeah, hey, good to know you're all okay." Just all that. What else happened?
In terms of aftermath, like what part we're talking about?
Just them getting out. That's the part where like just the immediate
Oh,
aftermath. Like with them, like as everyone like just getting back together.
like everybody got their rise, everybody got their helps. Yami getting help is hilarious because they used that purple orca guy. I forgot his name. It's hard to say his name actually.
Yeah, that guy.
The former captain, the former trader. Like
Hmm.
they use him as leverage. It's like let me use you as a platform, and Yami's like, "Oh, thank God you guys have showed up here. You really saved our butts." And they're like, you're using me as a platform."
That
Also,
is
a first name. Hmm?
so that is saying something.
Yeah, first name. The first villain ever. He was there. It's like, what are you doing here? It's like, I felt that's true. because we need to wait for the Slimer or whatever his name back in My Hero.
Oh my god.
He's the main villain now.
Watch.
Wait, Bleach sort of. Huh?
No, I was gonna say watch. The last chapter of My Hero ends with a Slimer with Deku.
Oh my god. Bleach. I can't say it did it, but they did use the Ichigo's main problem, but kind of did it anticlimactic in a sense. Because he's like, oh, it's like, remember me? I'm the one that killed your mother. I talk just. No, he didn't say that. But he's like, remember me? I killed your mother. And then I forgot how he died. He just died somehow. But like, oh, for a murder killer, sure sucked. Whatever. He's dead. It was weird. Yeah, whatever. But what else series? I mean, Naruto. When you said Mizuki, if you consider filler as canon,
Yeah,
he technically
that's
came
the only
back.
thing, though. Like, if we don't take the filler into account, Mizuki never really showed back up.
He came back as Tony the Tiger. That's an upgrade.
I guess.
Yeah.
That was like the old school Naruto too.
Filler
That was
hell.
even Shippuden.
Good time. Filler hell. Good times. So you have like every character just breaking out a doorway. But yeah, it is. It is funny how Charmy went back to her normal self, like, and Asta and Mimosa were actually trying to convince himself maybe they were seeing things. It's like, no, you were seeing the real deal before. Sad that the other characters didn't see it though. So hopefully in the future we'll see that moment. I hope, because it would be historical to see how they react.
I know. At first, when I saw it, I was like, I hope she stays in her half dwarf form, like just to get a reaction. But I'm like, maybe it'll happen later on, maybe. Yeah, because because like you got Mimosa and Asta going like, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Noel's just kind of giving them that look like, yeah, sure. Whatever you
gotta
say.
believe me. You gotta believe me.
Believe you.
Going back to the popularity poll, It is interesting that Charmy is the only character that actually made a huge comeback from the second poll to the third one. Because, but then again, but like I said, it's a TV thing, so who knows? But if we go by, just a normal assumption, you look at the second poll, she was at 14.
Oh wow!
First poll, yeah, for first poll, she was actually number 6. Second, she was number 14. Then the third poll, 7. But that's a huge upgrade.
That's nearly half. Wow.
Yeah. Damn. Ooh. Damn. Amazing. Actually, well, it's way too soon to make another poll, of course. So probably another 2. Give it 2 arcs and then make a poll.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Be interesting to see. What they think.
I think it's also important to note that Tabata actually took a break during like this particular part of the fight, or like during at least the final battle run, which I was like,
yeah,
oh shit, he's actually taking a break.
You're so shocked that you're so shocked by the news that he's taking a break.
Well, because I remember I sat there, I'm like, well, no, I was like, wait, no, Weekly Shonen Jump's not going on break. I'm like, huh, because again, if we're not including the regular Shonen Jump breaks, this dude has not been on break for a while, a good while.
Yeah, we actually talk about this too.
We did.
That's the funny part. We actually talk about it. We was like, he's like a machine. I was saying he's like a machine, and then like a couple of chapters later, He's going on a break. I'm like, oh, he's human. I'm only joking. Of course, he's human. It's just amazing that it took a long time until finally gets a break.
It did.
Like he has been. I mean, come on. You would think he would take a break during the time where he was doing what's that guy? During the whole Charmy versus
Real, yeah,
his name.
with that with that imagery.
Yeah, it's like you got like bunch of like crap load of what you call it? Berserk esque.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like a lot of berserk esque artwork. I'm like, my God, do you not take a break? Because
So I was
that's a
thinking,
lot.
I'm like, Tabata, what are you doing? What kind of energy are you having that makes you go like, I need to use this to sketch this out properly? Yeah, it was like what, like a couple. It was like his first break in, was it 1 year or 2 year? I can't remember now. Let me check. I'm curious.
I think it was like 2 years. I'm like going back into the older chapters and I'm like looking at the artwork. I'm like, that's a lot to do. I don't know how you keep yourself busy. How you kept yourself busy with these amount of details.
It's really crazy. Like, like looking back at the beginning of Black Clover and looking at it now, like there is so much detail now in the artwork.
Yeah, and it's funny because I remember one of the Sekri thoughts. You actually see the old artwork of Asta looks different compared to now. Not too different, but he does look different.
So
I think it's just the head.
You were actually right. His first break in 2 years.
Yeah.
Same issue too, almost.
Like I said, he was drawing he was just going on drawing berserk artwork style. And I'm like, is he gonna take a break? Because these are a lot of work. I mean, like, damn. There's just so many things going on. Take a break.
Yeah, it was almost like around the same issue too, because I'm looking at it right now. And so after 115, so that was like issue 30. 31 is where he took the break. And if you look at this one, which was after 209, issue 30 is where the break hits. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years. Wow. Now you look at another series, which I won't name.
I wonder how much it will affect him. I don't think it'll affect him a lot, but I think he will feel more motivated if anything. Now that Tabata, as of today, he's officially a dad, which is great news.
That's true.
It's hilarious though. Somebody found out that he actually foreshadowed his his child, not his child, but a childbirth in the editor note. Like I forgot what issue. Somebody pointed it out, and I laughed, but at the same time, I was actually kind of amazed that he actually managed to foreshadow his future. Because like one of the editor notes in the past said like something about his wife is feeling is like trying to do the routine pretty much. It was like a subtle hint that she's pregnant, so she's like doing something that a pregnant woman will have to be doing for the next 9 months. So like it was like subtle, but we didn't know what he meant. We just think he's like, okay, maybe his wife is like kind of sick, so he's just trying to work things out, whatever she needs to do. That's kind of funny to comment. But it turns out it's actually mean like she's really pregnant and she was just doing the routine of a pregnant woman. And then we comes to this moment that she gave birth. He's a father. They're all happy. And I was like, oh, that's hilarious that he actually foreshadowed.
Damn.
So it's not a foreshadowing. So he's not just foreshadowing in Black Clover, but he's also foreshadowing his life. Oh, awesome. Oh, that's crazy.
I'm telling you, man, that's some Ishida shit.
Seriously. But yeah, congrats though. Definitely a huge congratulations for the guy. Congratulations for the great series producing. Keep on going, and
I mean, after
congratulations to the kid.
2 years on this arc, he deserves it.
Yeah, he definitely deserved it. Like that's why well, we're guessing, but it feels like that's a good possibility. The reason why the recent chapter was pretty short, really short actually, but actually felt well, I wouldn't say it felt like a full concept, but it felt like a good enough concept to not complain at all. If
Mm-hmm.
anything, it was actually pretty damn amazing that it felt like a nearly felt like a
Like
one
a normal chapter.
19-page long. Yeah, like it was really good, but we'll get to that soon. We're only speculating that perhaps the reason for the short chapter was because he want to take care of his wife and the kid because they just got it just is so recent. So I don't blame him if that's the case. Like instead of taking a break because we're gonna have a break in the Golden Week very soon, so why not just you know do a short chapter and we give you some time with your kids. I mean, it seems like the logical choice and logical reason. I don't think he's sick. There's no sign of sickness. There's no sign of I'm tired. If he's tired, he probably only do 15 page, not 11. So, but we're only guessing. So, yeah. You there?
It got quiet. I was like, what? I
Yeah,
thought
I
you
was
were
like,
I
aren't
thought
you gonna
you were
say
gonna follow
something?
up with something. I thought we
Huh?
were. I was like, maybe he's gonna follow up with something. That's why I wasn't gonna
Oh
say
no,
anything.
there's no follow up. We're just done. I was just done. Yeah, I think we should finally get to the recent events. So pretty
Yeah.
much they got yeah. So pretty much they got out of the door. They Vermilion finally wake up again because Bartoli was uh, well supposedly died, but
No, sad.
Vermilion used Vermilion used that tree of might. Well, not really, but it's a tree that he
The
does.
tree of beginning. That's what I call it.
He does that technique, and he makes it easier to remove every elves from other person's body, and that's a way to make him the coolest guy ever. Well, that didn't really happen, but
I was like, wait, what? I don't recall
I
that.
mean, at least it would be acceptable, more or less. Well, not too acceptable, but it's not as bad as
That.
uh,
Yeah.
as that, because that one was just that was just insane. That was not stupid. That was just insane. Like
It was like, wait, what?
something's wrong with that. Coolest guy ever. So if Minion would have been put on the side and say, you know what, all your troubles are gone because you just saved all of us, it would irk me a little, but I wouldn't mind too much. But clearly, this series is not going for that, which is, I guess, is
That's nice.
reassuring for a lot of people who wants consequences. I mean, yeah, of course, we don't. Everybody has to face the consequences one way or another. But yeah, Patuli did died again, I guess, or not again, just die. And then what's his name? I want to say
Uh,
Vote. No, is it
is it
Voltros?
is
No,
it Vengeance?
no, it's not Vonges. The guy who did the resurrection move.
Um.
Shit. How
Oh,
do I
is
get
it
his name?
I'm gonna butcher it. Is it Rihas?
I think it's something like that.
Yeah. Like.
What I know, he did a soul corpse magic. He did it on him because it was kind of strange where when Patoli died, he's like, all right, time to go to heaven or hell because my actions time to die. Oh, that's it. I remember that chapter. Like as much as I enjoyed that chapter, I was like, it's kind of a little weird how Patoli just died like that. Like, all right, I gotta die and fly to up in the sky. But the idea was no, he's not gonna die here because this guy's gonna bring him back and say, no, hell no, you are not leaving like that. You're not gonna be the coolest guy ever in the afterlife. You're
Oh.
gonna try to work things out here. So he actually brought him out, and it makes sense. It makes sense because that's his magic power. That's his own magic ability. Though I like how Asta keeps trolling him so hard, especially like the last chapter before, two chapters before this one, the 214. I remember Asta was like, "Oh, this guy is loyal to Voltos is loyal to the guy. That's cool. He helped them." And then this guy's spouting out, I'm gonna pay back or something like that. I'm gonna atone my sin. And Asta's like, you didn't even do anything though. It's like, shut up, I do it my way. And then in this chapter, he's like, And then this chapter's like, you brought him back. It's like, but why? And then he's like, oh, I don't want him to go away. I do not want him to get a happy ending. I won't let you. I won't let him. I'll make sure you remember every last person whose life you step on. And then Asta's like, but then he's like, I'll make you remember me. Then Asta's like, oh, there you go. That's just gonna come back to bite you, you know? Shut your damn mouth. It's like, why he's trolling him hard?
I was wondering too. I'm like, man, like since this final fight, like Asta's been getting the short end of the stick in terms of insults. I'm like, man, I feel bad for you.
Yeah, it's like Asta's Asta's like amazed by others, but for him, he always call out his BS. It's like, oh, look at that, what a lie! Oh, look at that, you didn't do shit. It's like, damn. Oh, Radis, Rades, Radis. I think it's Radis.
I think that's it, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Radis if I say it right. But I thought this was a better direction to simply just kill him off, because I feel like, okay, he's gonna have a part of a dark elf and then he just dies. It's kind of waste, because it's like you have that, but could have done more on that, right or wrong. So I think this is a better idea. And personally, I do think that he might end up being like a vigilante kind of character. Basically, going back to compare to Fairy Tail.
Kind of like right? Yeah.
Yeah, like him. Like, he's not a good guy. He's not a bad. I mean, he's doing it for the good cause, but he's not classified as a good person or a good guy in terms of the government.
He's going about it.
Right. Exactly. So my guess is that these guys are going to become that way, like, because it's the only direction to try to amend your sins, in the sense. So to do that, you might as well start doing a lot of good things. Will they ever forgive you? Who knows? But the idea is your attention, your belief, your personal feelings of wanting to make things right is what matters the most. And that's what I think that's what he's going to do. Plus, his action needs that Vargas and Patoli could finally, interact each other rather than inside the mind. They can actually interact like normal separate people, which is actually nice. I'm not sure where they're going to go for there, but more possibility to, consider. And I like that kind of detail. Like, I like those like next things to look forward to. Again, we have a lot of things to look forward to already back in the entire arc, from developments, from the new lore, new anticipations, all that stuff. The Sacred one, the Nero and Sacred was funny, especially with Asta reaction. It's like everything to him is so awesome.
Yeah, right.
It's like, wait, it's okay. Let me get this straight. You're Nero, right? Yep. Well, she didn't say like, yep, but she's like, pretty much get the idea, like, yeah, that's me. And then, she says simply, yeah, like very casually. He just so casual, and then Asta was like, oh my God, I thought you was awesome as a bird. But you could transform into a human too. He's like, technically it's reverse. It's like yeah. He's like, oh my God. It's like Julius took over his body now or something.
I know, right? Which is something we're gonna talk about pretty soon. But see, this is something you and I kind of talked about when the whole Nero thing happened, because we were like, oh man, how are they gonna react? And Noelle's reaction. It's exactly as I thought it was gonna be, because she was like, yeah. That bird? That's her? Or he?
Annoying bird.
But even she's like, man, she's still really cute. So I'm like, okay, so it's kind of what I thought it was going to be. But I'm like, wow, so she's taking this in okay. I thought she'd be a little bit more jealous.
I mean, I guess she appreciated that bird, despite being annoying. Mm-hmm. But with Patoli coming back, we can't say the same thing for Lumiere. No, I almost thought maybe Mimosa would do something, but unfortunately, it's just inevitable that he has to go back to Afterlife, or actually going to Afterlife, more exact.
Yeah, because I thought that maybe he probably would have like turned back to stone, but the fact that he got dusted, like, no pun intended, but
dusted without Thanos' help. No, I'm kidding.
Oh wow. Okay, I wasn't even gonna go there. But
I'm kidding. Go on.
yeah, like the fact that that happened. I mean, and I mean again, like Lumiere hasn't necessarily been a staple character up until well. See, I say that, but he's always kind of been on top of the skull, so
Mm-hmm.
he's been important, but his major part hasn't come in until now. And just from learning about his flashback from Secret and just getting their whole interaction and seeing him kind of like break away. I mean, it's like Obito, but I feel like it's much better handled than that. If you know what I mean, like the way how the goodbye ends up being in
Yeah.
that sense.
Well,
That's what I'm referring to.
well, yeah. Well, I mean, we don't have to resort to coolest guy ever, so that's a huge plus already.
Oh yeah.
It's like, he was the coolest. Well, I mean, it would make the most sense to actually say the coolest guy ever because he's actually is the coolest guy ever.
Yeah, like Lumiere actually did shit.
It's not like if you know it's not like if the devil was human before and he did so many bad things 500 years ago and then today and then he suddenly become a good guy and Asta was like saying like, well, he's gone, or one thing for certain, he was the coolest guy ever. Like, it was not like that. If it was like that, well, I don't even know anymore. Would have been like, where do we go wrong?
But to be perfectly honest, though, like I did feel bad for Secret because I mean, again, this was someone she thought that he wouldn't really care all that much of her because of her status, and again, it just mainly from the two flashbacks the two flashback chapters we got, and when two flashback chapters can hold that much weight, especially like near the end of an arc with a moment like this, I think that really goes to show like just how much Tabata put into
Yeah.
their interaction. But what about you? Like how did you feel about the way Secret and Lumiere's goodbye was handled?
Well, my parent died.
Oh shit, you're right.
Well, you killed off a fairy. How could you? Nah, but seriously, I thought it was handled pretty well. It would have been one of the more talked about, but of course, the next scene is was where the WTF comes in at full force. But when you look at the standalone, it was a really good scene. It was a really nice scene because at least Lumiere got to see his descendants. It seems like he pretty much he's pretty much set that the future looks great. He not only his descendants, but like everyone else, his people, the people of today, everyone else is like everything's gonna be swell without him, and he's happy about it. The only sucky part is that leaving Sekiri alone. Well, not really alone, but basically just leave her out. But the idea is that now we're gonna see how her character is going to be like from this point forward, without being without associating with Lumiere. So where she's gonna go from here will be an interesting take. Because I thought they're gonna revert it in a sense of like, okay, she's gonna go back to her borough, or she's gonna leave with Lumiere, and we probably won't see them in a while.
That's
But
what I
now
thought too.
now she's a human again. I'm not sure she could turn to a bird. Maybe she could, but we'll see what later in the future. But now we have her around. We're gonna start. Basically, we have a new path to explore. We have new things to anticipate, especially with the next chapter. Kind of gives you a little idea that we're gonna probably see a little bit more that's gonna be concerning with her character and as well as her projects during her her time with Lumiere, possibly. But we'll talk about that when we get to that chapter. So with this scene, I thought it was a really nice send off. I wish it was talked about more, but the next scene is where they all the attention was stolen.
Man,
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like as
Okay.
as the scene was and as emotional as I got with this, I was like, man, I felt bad. Next scene hit, and oh my god, the the wildfire that spewed out with this next scene. Now I'll say this: I was one of the few individuals who didn't get spoiled. So when I saw this, I was like, "What? Wait!" And to say the very least, the timing felt weird. Let me see this right now because it has to do with the anime in terms of how a certain episode came out. So when I saw this, I'm like, "There's no way." What? Basically, if you guys want to know, Yami and Vengeance are like going out. They're like, wait, where the hell is his Julius's body? And he's still kicking. Like he's still up and about. Or is he really? That's the question. Sparta, you want to give your input on this?
Well, I got spoiled. That's for sure.
Oh,
The guy, I'm not. I think the person that was talking to me was upset, clearly, because he made a joke about like, "Hey, Weekly Shonen Jump, I made a great chapter. Good." Now about that Julius character, yeah, bring him back. Why? Because we can't have that. We need to bring everybody back. We did that with All Might. We could do it with Julius. Well, All Might didn't die. Well, that's the point. We didn't want him. Now, Julius. I know you killed him off, but we gotta bring him back. Do it whatever means necessary. That's the way he said. I was like, I guess you don't like the fact that he came back. I mean, I could understand a lot of people don't like the fact. Personally, when I got spoiled, it does sound rather weird, iffy, and I guess even though it's exaggerated to use this word, but controversial. I mean, it's so strange how a lot of people were going on talking about show is canceled. You know, it's I guess it's a meme or a trope. I don't even know anymore. It's supposed to be saying like, well, the series has gone downhill because of this thing, something like that. I mean, I think one person was trying to upload a video, then Toei said, nah, no, not Toei. Sorry. The who's in charge? TV Tokyo. There we go. TV Tokyo was like, nah, you're not putting that, sir. So he got copyright issue. I was like, oof.
oh wow.
So much for that video. I didn't get to see the video. I was like, well, so much for that video. But what I know, it was something about like a debate if the series is went straight to the gutter, basically jumped the shark, all that stuff. You know, try to make the series like the bottom tier because of this one revelation. And when I read the chapter, I was like, that was pretty enjoyable. And the last part, I want to see what comes out of it. See, the thing is, it's kind of like the Mandarin situation back in Iron Man 3. Like, it was such a low blow, I guess, for a lot of Marvel fans that were really anticipated for that character. And me, I thought, hey, as much as it sucks that we didn't get to see the character, I thought this twist was actually pretty damn funny. I just wish that if there was more to the follow-up, but instead it was just keep on bragging about how the title Mandarin, tossing around to every other character, mainly the other bad guy. I'm like, okay, you don't need to do it like that. But not only that, but it's just there's no real other follow-up, just aside from the gag. That basically the only punchline is the fact that these guys think he's the final villain of this movie, whatever. But nope. The real truth is he was just an actor. So I can understand.
You're gonna get a real Mandarin now, according to Facebook.
Well, yeah, definitely. Yep. But back to Black Clover. I didn't think too hard of it because I want to see what's the reason behind it. I want to see what would be justified. First, I want to see what's justified on how he was brought back. Then I want to see what made Tabata go with this plan. Like, what he has in store.
Sorry to interrupt you, Sparta, but like I was gonna say it was very similar to when Kaneki was defeated by Suzuya in Tokyo Re. And there was like this big backlash from people. Like, are you serious? Like, did that really happen? And then come the next chapter, it's like, huh, okay.
It's like, but yeah, the funny thing is, that's the same thing for happened here because the next chapter actually showed us the awareness that it has, the series. Like going back to like the whole Julius thing. I was pretty fine with it because like I was fine with it, but I was still wondering the reason. Like, what would be more to it? It can be like I know we have been comparing other series for a while, but I guess we could go for one more or maybe probably more, whoever it depends. But I'll go with one more. Like in Fairy Tale, I know the reason behind this character that was brought back was because supposedly I guess, well, maybe I should not say with certainty. I should say I guess, unless you know it is 100% true that they brought that the reason why one character was brought back to life is because the editor wants her back to life for the TV show or something like that. They just want to bring her back because I
Why
don't know.
not?
We need more screen.
Because why not?
Why not? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, like it had a good ending out of it, but after that, what's there to it? Nothing more. It was like really nothing more to the whole thing, which is what's the whole point of it, you know? So I don't want Julius to be in that situation of like, okay, you brought him back for what? I don't know. Okay. It's not like he was in the top 10 to say, damn, I killed off a really popular character. I'll bring him back. It's not like that. It's not, I mean, yeah, he was number, what, 13, 14, I think. Still, a lot of people would still be like,
Which is kind of
you're not
funny.
a safe haven.
I
Huh?
was gonna say, which is kind of funny considering how he looks.
Yeah. I read the chapter, and then you just see like that symbol, which is funny because a lot of people thought the symbol means Wizard King. But then again, you don't see that symbol on Lumiere at all.
No, you don't.
So what is that symbol about? So and apparently, according to one of the Reddit's user, it was actually like a symbol based on mythology. I forgot which one. Sorry, but it's the exact symbol, and it actually means resurrection or something like that. Second life or resurrection. And it makes sense here. Wizard King. It was about a secret technique, a secret magic spell cast that he has cast a long time ago or a while back. So then we got to the next chapter, the recent chapter, chapter 215. And
Second to last chapter of the current volume.
yeah, yeah. Got to the last chapter, recent chapter. And right off the bat, it's downright hilarious because like
Young,
Yami pretty
I don't
much
buy this. You're God.
Yami pretty much speaks for every fans who was really irate about the last chapter. Especially where he was like, wait a minute, you died. Nah, that's not happening. You were dead. I know for a fact you died. Don't you remember? You were that guy that died. You went to the last moment. You had a very epic moment send off. I did the salute. You like had a great time and you just die out with a smile. What happened to those moments? Now it's got deleted because you just brought back out of nowhere. You want me to just give everything that you want to give everything that you gave help responsible on my end to give it back to you because you're not dead now. And he's like treating him like a little like he's about to bully him.
You're
He's like,
right.
yeah, me. He's like, yeah, me. Chill. Take it easy.
You're kind of
So
scary.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like to me, that shows self awareness from Tabata because clearly he knows that this move is gonna sacrifice a really great moment. And while that is true, while it is sad that that moment was sacrificed, if there is more to his plan, if there's more to Judas up for the future, then in my opinion, that's a crisis averted. I mean, like a lot of things in this chapter, it was a crisis averted. We still don't know what's the plan that Tabitha is going to have Julius from this going forward, but a lot of things that a lot of people had problems are reassured here, and thankfully so, because a lot of people would kind of have the wavering confidence or waving feeling towards their favorite series that is Black Clover, and they don't want to be like, oh no, it's gonna have flaws. Oh no, I gotta start defending on the fans, on the people that hates the series, haters and whatnot. But if they're thinking if they sit down and think carefully, it makes a lot of sense for a lot of things.
It really
I
does.
for me again, I just want to see what he has in store for Julius going forward. Because again, he has to bring him back. Yes, he's younger. He's definitely downgraded a lot, significantly a lot. If that's like double redundancy. Anyway, he only has 1-page grimoire now. That's we saw him with a huge we saw him with a huge grimoire as well as endless of pages. Now he only has 1 page. So I asked myself, what is the idea of Julius going forward now? And I'm not talking about what's going to happen and what's going to happen by the end of this chapter. You know, being the guy who's going to give us the infos, but other things in the future, like is he going to join a group? Is he going to chill in the background and do some significant works? Or he's just going to disappear in the thin air and just like, well, guess you're running back for that? Sure. Well, we'll see what happens.
Definitely. No, I'm like just sitting here going like, and which is something I kind of want to address too, because I remember thinking about it like, okay, his reasoning, like the whole explanation Tabata gives, and as to why he's still there, actually does make sense when you put it in context of the story. And here's the thing: compared to what's a good death I can think of that got negated, for lack of a better idea at the moment, Fairy Tail with Gajiel, Alvarez Arc. Yeah, everybody remembers that scene, right? Okay, there's two: Gajiel and Jubia. Those two were pretty big, significant moments. And to be fair, I kind of knew they were probably going to come back, given the track record that we got. But what surprised me was how quickly they came back.
Yeah, I think I'm sorry, you go.
No, I was like, because I think Jubia took maybe an extra 2 chapters. Gajiel took maybe 3 or 4, and then he came back. I was like all right, I wasn't expecting until like maybe end of the arc, but okay, we're doing this quickly. At least it wasn't like that. And to be fair, unlike those two, Julius was somebody I thought that, okay, this guy's gone. We ain't seen him anymore. But he's here. He's a teen. I think that's one thing to point out is that, yeah, he's like a little kid. But again, getting the explanation as to why he's still around, it makes sense. But I know you were going to say something, Sparta, so go ahead. What you were going to say?
I'm just more surprised that Fairy Tail did, I think, at least four fake out deaths within the arc. 1 and 2 of which one in which was confirmed dead, and the other one was was supposedly guaranteed a death because the condition on the technique that it was placed on. And then all of a sudden you say like, well, I guess she didn't die because I don't know. So why he broke free from the jail thing? That technique that only one person has to die in order to break out the cough. I don't know. I wish to know. It already negated to the idea that nobody cannot die, no matter what BS or what they say. I mean, at least One Piece has to say like, okay, the only way to stop floating is to either kill him or you could just knock him out. Of course, I'm going to knock him out. We had a no death policy.
Unless you're Pell.
They did that. Well, yeah, unless you're that. Oh, God. Which I find it hilarious how somebody would say, like, hey, look, Fairy Tail, at least Fairy Tail, at least One Piece characters stay dead. I'm like, you do know we had to wait over 570 chapters to finally get one major death, right? Just let you know. We did have a lot of name character who somehow escaped death, whether it's getting nuke in your face, thunderstruck on you, boat being destroyed by tons of high tier marines. The list goes on. Trust me. Around that time, I gave up on believing there will be death. And then that moment happened, and I was like, oh, okay. Shit. So this was still young. We 250 chapters in. Who the hell knows if we will get one major death in the future? The only question is when, or will it be? So just wait up. Don't think because this the thing. The reason I don't react heavily as others It's because this is like the first card of Tabusa using a not really deaf moment.
It
Because
is.
like, oh, yeah, it's the first card. It's not like you've been using 18 of them. Like, hey, oh, how where you get all those free cards of no deaf Mashima? Because he sure pack a lot of them. So it's the only conclusion I could think of. I didn't react so negatively because again I was waiting for like more reason to bring him back or bring him back writing wise. That is, even if he is younger and only has one page. Like now, what's really the idea behind his character? Like what is going to be now? We don't know. Well, all I know is that this chapter he introduced a lot of things.
There's that, and the whole way of how Vengeance was handled too. The fact that when Julia said that, look, I know what you did was wrong, and there's a lot of shit that's there, but it can't be undone. You have to pay for your crimes, and by doing that means being behind bars. I'm glad about that. Again, it's very similar to the whole Jalal from Fairy Tail, and I know it's kind of something we brought up, but like I said, Vaughn is going to be a character that does end up coming back. Maybe give or take like 50, 60 chapters from now. My guess. After like the next big arc. That's kind of my prediction on that. And then we cut over to Yami, Julius, and then you have Asta with Noelle, with Mimosa, and Secret. It's like, with that last battle, the case is closed on that ordeal. However, 3 problems have come up now. And
Just seeing Noelle reaction, like the hell.
I know, well, that's why I paused for a minute. I was like, no. She's like, who's the guy who decided to call his son? He's got some nerve for a kid. And even like S is looking at this too, like, Captain Yami is that kid, is that this person really? Julius straight up just says, yeah, the first is the Magic Emperor has disappeared. Ain't he right?
He's like,
it's you. Asked his face. Wait, what?
That's just a funny way to let everyone know that this is Julius as they see. It was like, all right, just let you know first and foremost, the Magic Emperor has disappeared. No, you're right here. It's like, oh, that was quick.
Oh, so the legends are true. Then you didn't die. Yeah, let's go with that. He talks about like the majority of my magic has been lost. It's probably safe to say that the battle has weakened the influence of the nobles who believe the country's leaders should be nobility, which candidates for Nozel? I think so. Where Asta just automatically like, question, why'd the Magic Emperor come back so tiny?
It's just funny how you could just say so tiny. It's like you could just tell him you came back as a kid. He's like, hey, he came back as a tiny. Why he has to say like that?
That face Asta me.
Yeah, the excitement.
I know, like, and Yami, like, little hyper kid doesn't know when to hold back. And Julia's like, about that. I was aimlessly wandering around as my old self when I found it. Long ago, there was a magic tool left behind with magic storing technology. Its name is Swallowtail. Wait, if I remember correctly, this is Nero's last name, right? I think.
Yeah.
So
it's like, it's amazing how her tools actually benefit more than she anticipated, you could say. Because, hey, it saved Julia's life or, brought him back another chance. So it's like, holy shit, I did something. Well, I can't say I did something right, but it's more like, wow, my magic tool really is coming more beneficial than I expected. So it's like, it makes me wonder, like, maybe now that she's here, will she do more of these things? Not like the exact same thing, but like more of like anything else or in the future. Like what I want to know is that the fact that she's here rather than like, oh, I'm going to go home or go with Lumiere or I'm going to become a bird again because plot, I don't know. Now that she's here, human, what's going to be her role from this point forward? That's what interests me. Unless, again, you get the Lizana syndrome that you don't do squat. You was just there for that one time and that was cool. But you have no more. I hope not. But no, it's kind of scary because if she does have roles and she does all these roles, she will end up being top 10, knocking someone out. I'm not sure who, but we gotta watch your back. That's all I'm saying.
I laugh at like part of her characters like is to try to hook up Ast and Noelle together. Like that what like during the whole festival thing.
Yeah.
I
So
mean like
he goes. So he goes on explaining how this works. Right. You could continue.
yeah, he talks about like how his time magic and the Swallowtail were like very compatible with one another, and he basically kind of stored both his own time and the magic and the crest on his forehead. So that kind of explains why he's the way he is. Which again, him coming back is again a bit questionable, but it makes sense. And at least it's how he looks right. It's how his appearance is. If he came back full force, like yeah, okay, then I would have been like, ooh. I know.
That's true. That's true. If he would have come back as like just like as he was before, I was like, okay, that's just little, because he was pretty damn powerful when he was like before.
He was.
Like the guy had, yeah, like he felt untouchable. If he wasn't for caring about the people in the entire Clover Kingdom, he would just easy defeat Patoli in that very moment. It was just he was just that powerful. But unfortunately, he has to sacrifice, and luckily he got a second chance. But the drawback is younger, and he lost the grimoire all the way to one page now. So it's a big drawback. It's a big consequences, and that's great. Again, my only concern is what's going forward for him from this point forward
That's my
now.
thing too.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm very curious about like what he's gonna do moving forward.
Yeah. I did find it hilarious that he's like talking about how this works, and then he's like, "Well, the facts don't make themselves apparent right away, but it definitely wasn't supposed to start me back up so young. It looks like I wasn't very skilled with it." Ha ha ha! I was like, I like it's just hilarious because he's trying to make it sound like, well, it's still a failed project. I'm like, well, I don't know, man. I mean, a lot of people would sure love to have a second chance at life. So I don't really call it fail. It's just more like, well, didn't go exactly as I wanted to, but I'll deem it as just sus. I'm not sure what's his expectations. He has to raise the bar so damn high.
Yeah.
Like, well, no, you're playing in skill. There ain't no way a person alive that could revert themselves back like that. You're just nuts, and now you look like a kid, old man.
Yeah, like they're having that whole explanation. And then you get asked like, whatever you did, I'm letting you roll like that.
Oh man.
Julius is like, thank you. I see you're as energetic as ever. Have you been successful in your endeavors? And he's like, I did my best, sir, but I always do better. And he just, oh my god.
Oh god.
This next interaction, I almost lost it. Like I was like laughing for like a good minute or two because he's like, oh, I didn't see you there. Just by judging your face, what in the world kind of magic you possess? Like he went straight up asked, right?
Yeah. He went. It was funny because like everybody was like total disbelief that this guy is actually Julius, but it was this moment, yeah, we got it now. It's definitely him. Because he's like, oh my god, magic anticipation. What kind of magic you have? What kind of stuff you could do? Oh my god, that's so much unrevealed secret.
I know.
And now since he's a kid, it just looks strangely adorable now.
It does.
It's like, I'm like, God, how I was like, that's like, well, shit.
I kind of feel bad for Secret because she's like very going like, I don't know how I should feel about that.
Yeah. It's like the reaction is like, yeah, that's him, right? And then Noah's like, yep. And Melissa's like, kind of like that embarrassingly like chuckle, like, yeah.
I know they pretty much all have like the same statement, like, yeah, he's the same. He's like, oh yeah, my bad. So the second and third problems concern relations, but at this rate, I foresee the Clover Kingdom being overthrown by foreign land. Uh-oh. That ain't good.
As a lot of people has predicted, we're gonna have a kingdom invasion arc, or maybe, I'm not sure, but it seems like that's the possibility. I mean, that was the direction I was always.
Black Clover's version of the Three Kings saga. That's what I'm gonna.
I mean, it was like something that that's the only. I wouldn't say the only path, but it was like one of the paths you could go with after this crazy battle, this crazy war. Like, yeah, that's a lot of damages. A lot of people are tired. So the next big thing to do is have the kingdom say, "Oh, shoot, they have no king. We could attack them, and we could actually dethrone everyone, or dethrone the kingdom itself. We will have a bigger land for ourselves." So yeah, that was like the most the logical approach. But it's great to hear like I can't say it's 100% confirmed that the next arc is going to be evasion, but
No.
that's definitely a high possibility now. Like it could be evasion or it could be something else. But we get to that when we get to the last part, which is pretty damn hilarious in my opinion.
It could be a summit. I hope not.
Oh god. Well, if it's nothing like what we just talked about, please. If it's nothing like that, I'll be fine. If it's anything like that, I don't like liars like you. Oh my god, Asta, why you hyperventilating? Whatever I say it. Oh, why? What happened, Asta? You know. No, you know.
He's much smarter than that. I feel like he's much smarter than that.
He has to be to escape that.
I mean, we're talking about the guy that was inspired by Berserk, so that's already...
That's true. Gotta be inspired by the right series, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, because even like Noel's like, so you mean, and then Asta like the Diamond Kingdom or another, or Asta will die.
3 words. He would die.
Or
This
perhaps
is like that reaction. Sorry.
Like I'm laughing because Asta and Noel have like the final reaction. I'm just like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. I'm not sure what he means by Asta would die, but maybe it has to do with the kingdom, like their focus prime target will be Asta, or it could be referring to the demon inside. I don't know. It could be either the two. Someone mentioned about I forgot what was it called, the guy name or somebody from chapter 70 something, because I think one of them was actually targeting Asta before. I don't remember the name though.
Whoa!
I gotta look at it.
I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to remember her name too.
I'm gonna find a page count, chapter number. Give me a second. Chapter 79. Okay, I'm gonna go there right now.
79.
Damn, it came far away.
Crunchyroll left an article out saying like the latest Black Clover episode has left fans heartbroken. I'm like, yeah.
For now, you're heartbroken for now, guys. Don't worry, there'll be more to. Okay, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, it makes sense. That's true. They still have more generals that they even use in Black Clover in the Diamond Kingdom.
They do.
They only used I think they only sent 2 generals out, didn't they?
Yeah, only 2.
Yeah, so we still have 6 other ones, unless they got 2 new ones, but I'm not sure. Yeah, damn, that's right.
Wow.
So it might be them targeting back again, especially where if these 2 go back and has to report that news that Asta kicked their ass, even if they are good, but they have to report it. It depends how it goes, but that's a good chance that could happen now.
There's a very good chance about that.
Diamond Kingdom, but I do like the fact that Asta will also considering maybe there could be another, which would be interesting to see another kingdom being in play too. But like, damn, the Diamond Kingdom would be but the Diamond Kingdom would be an interesting start, especially if they do end up going there rather than let them come to them. Like if you go there, it'd be interesting to see a different world exploration, and maybe we could. I think was it Diamond Kingdom? It was Diamond Kingdom with the dwarf, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up. I was going to say that it would also be a good way to bring Charmy into the mix too, especially with getting that revelation that she's a half dwarf and a half human.
Yes, which is interesting because they made it sure that the idea of a human and a dwarf hybrid is unusual, or if not, just extremely rare. Like this is the first time I ever heard this. So it's like, yeah, we gotta go more depth with that, please. I mean, could you imagine if the series would have ended in that arc, the arc that everybody thought was the final arc? If it ended there, like, damn, that sucked. They did that for absolutely nothing. But now we have a good chance that we could see that. It's no guarantee this will be the next one, but Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, that reaction, that reaction. That's keep in mind. This is the last chapter before the break because it's a holiday coming up for Japan. When your last page is Asta will die, and Asta instead of leaving as a normal shot, like what I'm gonna die, or like something too serious. Instead, he's like, wait, what? Like what? Why? It's like why have to die? Why me? It's just a hilarious reaction.
I was gonna say, I think it's also saying a lot considering that it's the second to last chapter of the volume 2. So
he's like, what? And I just find it hilarious that Julius even managed to finish it off. It's like, well, there's two ways that could happen. One is that the kingdom will get override by the other kingdoms because, they're going to invade us. We're weak. We have no kings. We're screwed. But there's another one as well. Asta has to die or will die. And then like after that crazy reaction, like, what? He's going to die? And then he's like, oh, we could have both. I'm like, that's not helping. You're trying to say, well, your kingdom will get destroyed and the main character of the series will die. It's like a rough draft of Attack on Titan ending. Well, even though I can't clarify that will happen, but you never know. Bottom line is, well, we're going to have our new Evangelion. Congratulations.
Okay, here's a question I want to bring up. So, when the next volume comes out, would you rather have this chapter be the ending of the volume or this be the second to last chapter? And I was getting 216 as like the ending of the chapter.
Well, I mean, it depends on the next chapter, but personally, I will have this chapter to be the last one of the volume because it will leave on a hilarious note.
It would.
It would like, what? He's gonna die? I don't get this. I gotta wait for the next volume. Damn. I just imagine because reading volumes, I have done that before, like for a series that is fresh out of the bat for me in terms of like I never read it through the internet sites, so I read it from the volume and. Boy, the experience is very different. It's a great experience, honestly. A lot of people should try to do that. Even to the series they already read by weekly basis. They should do that just to get that different feel. But it is interesting when you read a volume when it's a new series, fresh out of the bat. You have no information what's the story about or anything like that. So it's actually pretty amusing to find yourself reading it. So if I were to read Black Clover by volume for the first time ever and never read of weekly chapters, it would have been historical for me to just look at the last panel like, wait, he's going to die? Well, what the hell? And then volume in. Thank you for reading. Stay tuned for the next one. No, I need to know what the hell happened. Why the hell he has to die? Or why the hell he will die? Whatever. Point is, what the hell, man? Yeah, no. Oh God, but that's just my personal opinion.
No, I definitely think it would be hilarious if 215 ends up being the final chapter, but I don't know. That's just something we're gonna have to see.
Yeah, so that's where it ends. We got a break because it's the holidays.
Yep.
So if you're really desperate for the answer, like. What do you mean he would die? Well, you gotta wait a long time now, buddy.
I know it's already kind of saying something considering that this is our return podcast, and it's like, yeah, we're already going on break. Don't worry. let me make this announcement right now. As soon as this break gets finished, we're coming back. It's not gonna be a long absence.
That's right. That's great to hear, though. That's really great to hear. Very reassuring.
Yeah, I've been missing this for a very long time, and I'm like, I need to get this back up to speed. Get my groove.
Let's get your groove back.
When you leave off with Lit being the demon that Lumiere fought, I was like, shit, I can't wait to do the next one. And getting all the way here, it says a lot.
Yeah. The funny thing is, we did plan to actually come back last time, like the last chapter, but that would have been quite interesting to hear our reaction. Like, he's back. I mean, I kind of give my opinion, if based on that chapter 214 alone, without considering the 215, the next follow up, of course.
Mhm.
But still, it would have been interesting to hear our reaction, like, huh, he's
Well,
alive. Yeah.
I'm trying to
I
think.
mean, again,
Did that happen on Tokyo Re also when we were doing the podcast for that? Like, did we cover both chapters back to back? Because I feel like we did.
I feel like we did. I want to say we did. I can't really guarantee we did because I have to look
That's
back.
the vibe I'm getting from that.
Yeah, maybe. I try to remember if we really did that.
I think so. Yeah, I gotta go back and check now.
Yeah, we do that.
But I guess in terms of predictions, what do you think is going to happen in 216? Like, just specifically, 216 is based off what we have.
Well, I think they will give an explanation why what Julius meant when he said Asta will die. Like, what do you mean by that? Is it because of the kingdom, or is it because the demon inside? Exactly. What is the specifically? What made him say that? Like, what gave him the idea of that? Like, why is Asta single out of everyone? He's like, damn, he can't catch a break. I know he's a protagonist, but geez. So, like, what made him say why? What made him single out Asta? I know he's the main character, but story writing perspective. Why? I think we're gonna get an explanation behind that.
That's what I'm thinking too. I think we're definitely going to get an explanation on that. Explanation on that, maybe either. I want to say I'm like 95% certain that this next chapter will be like the final wrap up of the arc, and then maybe get like a small tease of what's to come for the future. That's what I'm thinking anyway, is what 216 will be.
If the 216 is supposed to be the last chapter of a volume, if that's to be true, then I think it's a wise decision to wise decision to actually end it with like a build up or a setup, whatever, for the next arc. And that way you could leave the fans who only reads the volume highly anticipated for what's to come next volume. Like, man, there's so much possibility. You got the Diamond Kingdom is actually going for a second round of invasion, but this time they're gonna use all 6 generals, the leftovers. Wonder what happened to the other 2 generals. Can't wait for the next volume. So yeah, I'm just throwing out there. Bottom line is you want to leave the fans, hype for the next things to come, whatever it be. Whether it's like, oh, it's a brand new arc, or is it gonna go exploring? They're gonna get invaded. They're gonna go to the next dimension. I don't know. Anything. So long as anything that gives them a reason to, say, give them the reason to say waiting game is the worst game, because of that hype. You want them like get that hype. You want them pre-order, or you want them something. You just want the fans to be excited, and then I think that's like the most important thing for a lot of mangaka. So we'll see how it goes. I think 216 will definitely set up a lot of things for the future arcs, or even the next arc.
Definitely. Who knows? The big cliffhanger could be something that Asta's demon says, just randomly, like, "Oh, pieces are coming into place." It's like, what? What pieces?
Excellent.
I don't know. Pull a Satan from Opard's on her, for all I know. You can do that too. Spitballing ideas. Could be anything. Could be anything, guys. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot I got to say too. But we're on break. Well, I wouldn't be on break, but Jump's on break, which means we have to be on break, unfortunately. But like I said, when the next chapter comes after next week, we're coming right back. We're not gonna be making these 3-4 week delays and then going like, okay, now let's get the ball rolling. We are gonna come in full force after this 1 week goes by. That I promise you. And in saying that, you guys, I think that's pretty much it. Sparta, it was really great having you on board again for a Black Clover podcast for something that we haven't done in like months, practically almost like the entire summer. I really think about it.
Yeah, that's true. But it's great to be back. I was like I said, we was trying to do it the last chapter. Even if the last chapter was quote controversial, we would still want to do it because we wanted to talk about Black Clover. I mean, it's been a long time, but like I said earlier, life, it can be full of surprises. Life can be really busy, hectic, all that stuff. And Lucky Cheese, he was pretty damn busy. I was busy of some sort, but I would have time to do so. But again, it's not the show. It can't be the show without Lucky Cheese. And hearing him again, as well as having a good chat, not just with Black Clover, but just in general, like two good friends. It felt great. It was great that I was invited here to do the podcast with you once again. And like you said, once it comes back, the series that is, we will continue more discussion with Black Clover and his greatness. So I can't wait for the next one.
Same here, man. And until then, you guys, that is pretty much it. I'm Lucky G7.
Sparda3g.
And we will catch you guys after this break passes by.